Hey everybody. Hey everybody. Thank you for sharing this special episode of Let's Talk About It with Renee. And my co-host tonight is
Quentin.
and tonight you all, I normally don't do my shows tonight, but I'm doing the show live tonight because I just want to touch some bases on child molestation, the fears and the facts of being molested. You know, some people have their different. Hey, Nicole, how are you? Thank you, Nicole. I appreciate you. You want to say hey to Nicole?
What's up? What's up?
You know, people have. Well, let me just start off by saying thank you for my subscribers, my 3,667 some subscribers. Please continue to subscribe, like, submit, share. But it's a lot of people who have been molested and people who have not been molested who have things misconstrued. So I would like the audience to give their opinion on people that they know, family members that they may know, who have been molested and their point of view on it. Um, Let me first question I would like to ask, Nicole, let me ask you, why do you think people don't tell that they're molested? My reason I think that people don't tell that they're molested because I was molested and people don't believe me. And it's very, very hard for when you tell things that is going on in your life and the people who have hurt you when they don't believe you. Not particularly calling you a liar, but saying they don't believe me. They don't believe you, and how can you tell somebody that you don't believe what their truth is? What Nicole say?
She said Isaiah watching just driving.
Oh, okay, okay. Because they scared of what?
Nicole said because they scared. I feel like
Yeah, they scared. I was scared. And listen, when I did finally go to get professional help or whatever, and my doctor said, talk about it. This was years, years ago. Then when you start talking about it, you find the people that you're talking about it with don't believe you. But it's not meant for them to believe your truth. But you hate to be called a liar or that you don't believe when someone is telling you the truth about what happened to them when they were younger. And it's very hurtful. So, that's just my opinion. What do you think, Quentin? Why do you think people don't tell?
because they scared and nobody gonna believe them.
And a lot of people don't believe them. And a lot of times it's normally the moms that don't believe them. You know what I'm saying? It's bad enough when your parents don't believe you, but when you got other family members that you really trust and admire and believe in, when they start to not believe you too, you don't want to open up to them, anymore. You don't feel comfortable knowing that these people are in your circles and they really don't believe you. It's very hurtful. Why do you think parents don't believe the children, Nicole or Quentin? Why do you think parents don't believe the children?
I guess they don't think they Nate would do something like that.
Yeah, that's a possibility, but I also think that they don't believe the parent, especially the mother. I feel that the mother don't believe the children because a they love the man that they're with and they don't want to accept it. It's easy to turn your back and pick on the little person, the child who don't have a voice, who can't stand up for their, who can't pack their bags and go. So you choosing to believe the man over your spouse. What Jersey Devil? Hey?
Because they are to blame usually.
What the moms? They are. They are. And it's hard when you go to your parents, someone that you are taught to believe in, your first hero, the sunshine of your life. You know what I'm saying? For you to go to them and then they sit and don't believe you. Then you go to the next person and you tell the next person and the next person don't believe you either. That's very, very heartbreaking. And you know what I'm saying? When you say, this is my truth. And for my mom to turn her back on me, and then other siblings turn their back. I mean, who do you have left? That's why a lot of people don't tell. What Jersey Devil say?
The parents' job is to protect.
But how often do they do that? How often do they do that? They really don't. They really don't. They do that broadly because they normally blame the kid. Then the child is called the whore, the slut. You know what I'm saying? They ain't calling the husband or their boyfriend any names. They're not coming down hard, and they coming down on the child. Why? Because the child got a nice pair of shorts on and her legs are real young looking, and this man, this pedophile is looking at him. Let me ask this question. Why do you go around your molester once you are an adult? I had that question asked to me the other day. You must not have been molested by this person because you went around them as an adult. People got to understand nobody acts the same to a rape, a murder, molesting. No two people think alike. So to where you may not go around your molester anymore, and I don't want to have anything to do with him. I was taught to love mine. I was taught to love mine, and I love mine. I love mine. I didn't like what he did, but as a grown woman, you were in control of telling him no. So you can go around a person as an adult because you were in control. I can tell him, no, you're not gonna touch me, and knock the hell out of him. Instead of having to run to my mom or somebody else that don't believe me. As an adult, I am in control. So yeah, I will go around someone that would molest me, especially if I love them. A stranger is not molested, then to me it's rape. But for somebody in my family that I have adored and cared for to put their hands on me, it's not going to require me to hate them. I hate what they've done to me. Yeah, you can't sit and say because you go around them, it must not have happened. That's not true. And this is why I had this show, because I want people to understand there is a lot of girls that go around their molesters. Because their molesters, 9 out of 10, is their fathers, their uncles, family members, people they're going to be around. And as an adult, people's mind work differently. So do not judge because each molester handles situations differently. What do you think on that, Nicole and Jersey Devil? Okay. And what about you? You have an opinion on it?
Yeah, just because you're taught to love doesn't mean anything at all.
Go ahead. And what do you mean by that?
Because if I'm taught to love you and I find that you molested me, I'm not talking to you anymore.
Well, that's the way you view it, and that's the way you feel. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. For somebody to sit and tell you, "Ooh, quitting when you was 3 years old, or you was a little baby, your mom used to touch your dingaling." Yeah, you may not remember that, but when you ask me, I say, "Oh, they lying on me." You probably wouldn't think twice because you don't remember it. It will bother you because you don't know whether it's the truth or not. You understand what I'm saying? But for you to be taught to love, when you were children, you were taught to feel, you were taught to love, you were taught to act a certain way. You were taught to please your parents, right? But this is what a counselor told me. It's called brainwashing. Some people who are molested end up becoming hoes, wanting to have very, very promiscuous, having sex all the time. Some grow up and become lesbians. Some grow up and become homosexuals. It affects a person differently. Who are you to judge me and tell me how I'm to feel about the person that I love touch me? You can't determine that. You can't determine it. It's not to be determined. Yeah. And I'm going to tell you something. I know some people. I was just in a discussion about this today with a young man. He also told me that he know of women that have been molested by their fathers, and they go around them. Okay? I have had people to inbox me for the last, 2 days since I have brought this topic up on Facebook and Instagram. They, too, know people or go around their molester, because 9 out of 10 the molester was their father, their uncle, or their brother. But they grown now. They can fight back. As a child, you can't fight back. That's why you run and tell your mom, and they're supposed to fight for you. That's what they're supposed to do. Let me ask this question. If you go around your molester, does it mean that you lied about being molested? What do you think?
No.
Thank you. That's all. That my point proven. Just because you go around your molester doesn't mean you was not molested. Doesn't mean you.
Go around them.
I mean, some people fall in love with their molesters. No. Some people feel special because they've been touched. I've done research on this because it happened to me. Do your individual. If a person is truly molested, they would do the individual research like I've done. And then there would be no question, because there is so many documents and psychologists and psychiatrists and mental health people who have put these things on Google, so you can look up, you can see people handle things differently. Sometimes the girls feel special that their daddy or their uncle have this special affection towards them. You cannot determine that a person has not been molested because they go around their molester. What does Nicole say?
I just feel like people are afraid of rejection. Friends of mine have told me she didn't tell because her mom was very happy.
Yeah. And when I start telling, you call it here, or I don't believe you, or it didn't happen to me that way, so it didn't happen to you this way. I never said I was penetrating. People got to understand. Let's talk about this, and then we're going to end the show because it was just a quick one I wanted to do. People got to understand there is all different type of molesting. Okay, you don't have to stick your penis in a person to be molested, y'all. You have to understand. If I touch your daughter's breast and she's underage, that's molesting them. If I'm fondling her, if I'm rubbing her butt, I'm rubbing her private area, that is molesting. If I take her hand and I place it on my body, in my private parts, that is molesting. Okay? If you stand in front of a grown person, stand in front of you and do sexual things, masturbate in front of you, that is molesting. They sit and show you pornography as a child. That is molesting. There is so many different forms of being molested.
How is that molesting? They show you a video.
You a child.
They show you a video though.
When people have sex.
Right. That's no action being done to you though.
Your mind. As a child, you should not be a 6-year-old sitting down with your mother or your father watching hardcore pornography. Because what you're doing when you do that is you're opening up their hormones. You're waking their hormones up early. When they're watching this sexual stuff, they're going to feel something. It's human nature. And they are feeling it way too early. That's all I'm saying. They're feeling it too early. What they're feeling at 6, they should not feel until they're 17, 16, 18. And whoever wakes their hormones up early, you know what I'm saying, should be ashamed of themselves. That's all I'm saying. What does Nicole say?
I know people that were disowned by telling their whole family.
Yes, people will disown you for telling the truth because they don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. Everybody think they know you. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants their hero to be a villain. But sometimes villains are villains. Villains are disguised as heroes. They play with you, your mind, make you trust in them. They groom you to make you believe that everything is okay and you can trust this person. But then as soon as people tell you in your family, if you was molested, tell me. I do this. And then as soon as you start to open up and believe that you can trust, they start calling you the whore. You're the whore. You're the bitch. He's saying he didn't do it. Now you got family members believing you. Now as a grown up, you're telling your truth. And nobody wants their hero to be a villain. I get it. I get it. But sometimes villains are villains, and that's just the way it is. But you can't knock one thing because this little girl over here is getting her booty touched, and this little boy over here is getting his penis rubbed. That's not molesting. You shouldn't be turning on a child that way. Have you ever been told, little girls ever been told, don't sit on grown men's laps? You know why little girls are told not to sit on grown men's laps? Because guess what? Grown men can get a hard on. And now this thing, they're sitting there with a hard on with this little girl sitting on their lap. They feeling things. They may react to it and they may not react to it. But nevertheless, if it ain't your daddy, I don't care. Ain't your daddy, you don't need to be sitting on no man's lap. Okay? Period. You gotta watch people. Man, we live in a crazy day and age. Greensboro just had an earthquake. What is going on? Are you not taking heed or you're not listening? Do you not hear what's going on? I mean, it's ridiculous. Jesus said, and I quote, judge thee not if you have not been judged. If you judge me on my merit, my character, when you don't know for sure, it would be easier for you to sit and say, I don't know. For you to sit and say, damn, I don't believe you. It's easier to sit and say, I can't believe that happened. I can't believe that happened to you. It's hard for me to believe that this could have happened. But for you to sit and say, I don't believe you, at this point, my character is being questioned. And it's very, very hurtful. Then you have to sit and ask yourself, if this is the way people are viewing you, what are they saying behind your back about the situation? And do you want to be around anybody that you tell your truth to that says, I don't believe you? It's hurtful. It's very, very hurtful. So people, before we judge one another and sit and say, this didn't happen. No, it does happen. Ask around, ask your neighbor, ask your coworker, ask people on the internet. It happens. And I'm not going to sit in when somebody sit and tell me they were molested because I know your father or your mother or your uncle. I would never sit and tell you, I don't believe you because I don't know what people do. This something times plays tricks on you. It can make you very vulgar and filthy. Some men don't want grown women. They want children. It's a sickness. Some people are R. Kelly's, and some people are cool with what R. Kelly did. There's a lot of women that are okay that R. Kelly did this to these children because they say these kids were grown enough to know better. She was 16. She knew what she was doing. I've done some things at 16.
You old enough to know right from wrong at that age.
I'm older. You're old enough to know right from wrong. You know what I'm saying? It's different if you want this man touching on you, but when you have no control over whether this person touched you or not, then that's when it becomes a problem. R. Kelly, you know what I'm saying? They wanted to be touched by R. Kelly. They didn't want to be beat and sexually abused by R. Kelly, used for his pleasure. They didn't want to do that. That's not what they wanted. You know?
Who was paying them?
Huh?
Who was paying them?
I mean, sometimes
he stopped paying them. They mouth opened up. That's what happened.
No, that's not what happened.
Okay.
Did you watch the R. Kelly story?
I did, but I don't care what they say. I know what I think is they was paying them.
He was paying them to what? Have sex with them?
I'm pretty sure he was. He was paying. Like he said he was paying families. Soon as he stopped,
he was paying families to shut up because he didn't want them. He didn't want to go to court.
My point exactly. You stop paying them, they gonna talk. That's what I just said. He stopped paying them.
So you saying as long as R. Kelly paid their families,
as long as R. Kelly kept giving them money, that's probably why he broke. He don't got no money because he was giving all of them to do all of that.
No, he had to pay them lawyer fees
But you understand though, he's R. Kelly. He can get any female he wants to. He shouldn't have to do.
He can't get me now. He old.
He don't have to get you.
He's
but
50 years old.
R. Kelly can get any. If he comes to Greensboro right now and he wants to hit, and he chooses 20
like you're ready.
Oh, here we go. If he comes to Greensboro right now and choose, I want all 20 of these chicks, he's hitting at least 17.
And if I was one of the 20 that was lined up, I'm one of the ones that's gonna walk away.
Okay, that's 3.
And then because I walk away, I'm gonna be the one that he say, "Hey, go get her." And I'm be like, "Don't want you, okay. Don't want you. Got any man I want."
Like
and that's actual infection.
He stopped paying the money, so they stopped talking to him, and they snitched on him.
That's another story. As I stated, molesting comes in all forms. You don't have to be penetrated by a penis or some object to be molested. Someone can grab your breast, grab your vagina, grab your butt, touch you, grope you, fondle you. It is all a form of molesting. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes our heroes are our villains. You know what I'm saying? But don't ever knock nobody when they telling their truth. You know, that's why a lot of women, look at the Bill Cosby thing and look at all these famous people who came out years and years later about the things that they went through because they had people that doubted them. They didn't want to go through the ridicule. I get it now. I was just ridiculed. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I love my ridicule, but at the same time, it hurts. When you go through something and then you're able to announce it and say, "Hey, I'm getting this off my chest," and then you say, "Hey, I don't believe." You know? But, you know, my opinion is don't judge people because everybody's molested in a different way. People are touched. Some people are not. Some people can handle it to where it doesn't bother them. Some people do where they don't want to go around their family member. They hate them. I get it. But then I know so many people within the last 2 days of me putting this on my Instagram and Facebook. I have had so many inbox stating, "I know people," or "I still go around my uncle. I'm mature and I'm grown. I can handle myself." I know some. So thank you all for those people that confirmed what I said. You know what I'm saying? You do sometimes, depending on who your molester is. You know what I'm saying? You still want everybody to love the mama, but guess what? The mama is just as guilty as the daddy because as a child, we run to them for protection. And when we don't have their protection, you know, we find other forms of protection. And they may be running to different men, becoming very promiscuous, doing all kinds of sexual bad behaviors. You know, but I'm grown now and I can defend myself. You know what I'm saying? So I don't need my mother. I'm not going to run to my mother. If my father groped me, he's going to get knocked the fuck out. Period. I don't need her protection. I'm grown now. When I needed the protection, it was not there for me. But don't call me a liar because these are your heroes. You understand what I'm saying? They were mine too. They were mine too. But my truth is what it is. And it's my truth. And that's all I have to say about that. Listen, if you know a victim of someone who's been molested, give them the 800 numbers, give them social services number, give them a number to where they can reach out and talk to somebody, because it's difficult enough to come out, and then to come out and tell people what you've done to be not believed. I didn't ask you to believe me, but it's still very hurtful. My story doesn't change because you don't believe me, you know, but the truth is light of the word at the end of the day. If you didn't know, honey, let me let you know that. All right. Anyway, I just had to announce this. We normally don't do shows on Tuesdays, but I just had to get this off my chest because I am a victim of being molested. I am not ashamed to say it. I'm ashamed it happened, but it's not my fault. And I'm not going to hide, sugarcoat, or take up for my villain, because I am a victim. So I should never feel like if I'm not the victim, I shouldn't feel like people coming down on me for telling my truth. It's just not cool. I'm not the villain here. I'm the victim. I'm the victim. And there's a lot of victims out there. But look, we turned out good. I know I did.
Yuck.
Anyway, listen. This is only my opinion and ain't nothing I say law. But I'm just saying, before you sit and knock somebody and judge somebody, think about it. You don't want nobody judging you on, hey, I don't believe this, I don't believe that. But just keep those opinions to yourself, because it hurts someone who has gone through some kind of, and to feel comfortable enough to open up to tell you things, to be knocked down. It's very hurtful. Anyway, thank you to my people, Nicole, Jersey Devil, and the 5, 6 others, 6, 7, 8, 10, whatever, however many. I don't care. 5. Thank you all for watching tonight. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Michelle, my Kathy. Thank you. You inboxed me. You gave me some encouraging words. I thank you, because everybody is not on my team. And you do understand, because you're my sister. And thank you for understanding, my sister. You're my sister. Thank you. I love you. This is my son, and sometimes he get on my damn nerves. He ready to go play basketball, y'all. So I know I told y'all I was doing the show at 8 o'clock, but this dude right here, yo. So he said, don't put it on him, but I'm putting it on him, baby. So anyway, I'm getting ready to get off of here, and I'm going to go try to get me an exercise in before the night's up, before it get dark. I love you all. Stay tuned Tuesday. This Sunday coming up, I'm gonna have JVN and Nicole on the show Sunday. So we have a letter we're gonna read, and we're gonna do the notebook. So stay tuned for my 2 co-hosts, JVN and Nicole. Hey, that's where we get down. And if my special somebody is watching, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Shut up! Look at his face. Ugh. Get on my nerves.
Look at your face.
Look at your face. I ain't trying to.
Don't.
Let me tell you something. This gap is sexy, boo.
Yeah, I'm gonna put a quarter through there too.
You can put more than a quarter through here. Don't you worry about that. You can put some meat, like a some.
What kind of meat?
hamburger, steak.
We ain't talking about
pork
food.
chop.
We ain't talking about food.
Pork chop.
We ain't talking about
I'm
food.
talking about food, and I don't know what you're about. Talking about that kind of crap in front of your mouth.
You know what you was talking about.
Anyway,
thank you.
He's getting ready. It's his bedtime, y'all.
I don't have that.
It's his bedtime.
Yeah, you can say that again.
Anyway, thank you all for watching. I love you. I love you. And ain't nothing you can do about it. Ain't nothing you can do about it. I'd like to give a special shout out to you. That's my girl, Nicole. I love you, and ain't nobody can change that. Jersey Devil, you my boy. I'm still waiting for that steak dinner. Yo, I'm be over there soon. Anyway, to the other people, I know who you are, and thank you for watching. Once again, tune in Sunday night at 8 o'clock for Let's Talk About It with Renee. Until then, deuces, people. Did it do it?